Power is finally restored to Lexington's Government Center. City workers will be back to work tomorrow.
We've got to look at some local stores' inventory as we prepare for yet another possible bout of winter weather.
Flood watch comes into effect later on this afternoon, off into the evening hours, and lasts through the next 24 hours. Then we have a winter storm watch that will come into effect tomorrow through Thursday. The next couple of days are just going to be brutal. Hang tight. We'll get you an update coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant, Barbara Bailey here, and we have all the latest. Another winter storm poised to take over the bluegrass over the next few days.
Heavy rain, sleet, and snow accumulations are possible, along with flash flooding and messy travel conditions.
WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is tracking the threat on our First Alert Defender. A lot to look at.
Yeah, there is a lot, and we're going to continue to watch a lot of this rain slowly but surely slide on in here, and it looks like a lot of that just continues to push on toward the east. You do have a mix to the north of us, but mainly for us, it's just going to be some light showers here and there. You might get some moderate rain in spots. Now, going through the rest of the day, look for that hit and miss rain. It's already 55 in London, 42 there in Lexington. We'll start to see that warmest air slide northbound as we get throughout the day and have some 50s and 60s in the forecast. 58 is the call, gusty showers, and then we look toward overnight and into tomorrow morning. Right around midnight, I would say, is when the heaviest rain starts picking up, and then it really just sticks with us all morning long. I mean, that's where a flood threat comes into play. Right around noontime is when we start to see the first flakes up in the far northern zones, and they slowly but surely slide southbound. We'll go over these weather impacts coming up in just about 10 minutes.
See you then. We thank you. And with the latest track of this winter storm, area stores are running low on supplies, from salt to ice melt to snow shovels. It's a challenge for some local hardware stores to fill customers' orders. WKYT's Rebecca Smith has more on how Chevy Chase Hardware is coping with the demand. Rebecca?
Your shovel is your friend in situations like these. Let's hope we do not have to use them, but in case you do not have one, now is the time to stock up.
We caught up with one shopper who was in need of a shovel. Ned Wirtz said the last bout of winter weather in Lexington wore his old shovel out. It's a scenario Chevy Chase Hardware owner Bill Edwards is all too familiar with. While they have a decent amount of shovels, he said they'd likely be out of ice melt by noon today. Other big box hardware stores like Lowe's are running low in some locations as well.
We've already had phone calls this morning. Everybody is shocked and surprised that we have ice melt and snow shovels, and they're on their way as soon as they find out we've got it.
Your best bet really is to just call ahead before you head out to the store for a list of some local retailers, and to see what they have on hand right now, go to our website, WKYT.com. In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Rebecca, thank you. And at the Lowe's in Hamburg, they only have a few pallets of de-icer and even fewer shovels. They do not currently have any salt. And with heavy rain on the way for now, people who live near flood-prone areas are keeping a close eye on the weather today. Stoner Creek in Bourbon County has flooded several times over the past few years, so some are taking extra precautions before the rain arrives. According to the National Weather Service, yesterday marked the 18th anniversary of the biggest flood in Stoner Creek's history. On that day, water levels were measured at 30 feet. That is 16 feet above average.
We're not the only ones dealing with winter weather woes. A massive winter storm continues to bring ice, snow, and heavy rains to parts of the country. Winter weather advisories are out for parts of Minnesota, Iowa, Michigan, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. The system is also expected to add several more inches of snow in Boston, which has already seen near record snowfall this season. This latest round could push the city past its 20-year-old snowfall record. During this week of wild weather, we'll be here alerting you on what to expect. You can take control of the First Alert Defender on WKYT.com, and you can also download the WKYT First Alert Defender radar app for your iPad or smartphone.
We'll stay on top of the situation. And in other news at noon, a former Kentucky teacher accused of sexually abusing a child under the age of 12 decades ago faced a judge this morning. William Hyatt is charged with sexual abuse and sodomy in both Fayette and Harrison counties. And police say there could be other victims. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Cynthiana with the latest on the case. Mark?
William Hyatt didn't say much in court today. He only answered the judge's questions and refused to answer our questions after the arraignment.
What do you have to say about the allegations of sexual abuse?
Hyatt, a former Harrison County teacher, waived his formal arraignment in court and entered a not guilty plea. His Harrison County court appearance comes after he was indicted by a Fayette County grand jury in February on charges of sexual abuse and sodomy. The 57-year-old is facing charges in Fayette and Harrison County after being accused of abusing a child 4 times between 1979 and 1981. State police say the child was younger than 12 when the alleged abuse happened about 35 years ago. According to investigators, the accuser has told them that the sexual abuse took place in Harrison and Fayette County. Hyatt taught in Harrison County from 1992 to 1998. Shortly after the 57-year-old was arrested last month, he was also linked to the Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Bluegrass. Officials say they can't confirm that Hyatt volunteered there. However, the group has released a statement saying that they are angered and saddened to learn about the sexual abuse investigation that reportedly involves a former volunteer. During today's arraignment, Hyatt's attorney told the judge he may have some constitutional issues with the case and asked for more time before Hyatt's next court appearance. Hyatt is scheduled to be back in court for a pretrial conference on May 5th. A jury trial is scheduled for May 28th. In Harrison County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Bluegrass tells us that their organization has a zero-tolerance policy toward abuse. Well, a man who is accused of robbing 2 Lexington banks will answer to the charges in less than an hour. 29-year-old Cody Arnett was arrested yesterday in Georgia. Police say he held up the United Bank on Harrodsburg Road back in December and the People's Exchange Bank on Clays Mill Road in November. Arnett is charged with 2 counts of robbery. He's set to be arraigned at 1 o'clock. Lexington's Government Center is closed again today because of that electrical fire earlier in the week. The fire broke out late Sunday night in the parking garage right behind the building on Main Street.
Mayor Jim Gray says contractors put in new wiring, and he also said the building has seen more than its share of problems lately. WKYT's Sean Moody has more.
Workers have restored power here at Lexington's Government Center, but it won't be ready to move back into right away. It will be ready tomorrow. The mayor says this is just the latest in a string of headaches here at the building.
The building's really hemorrhaging. I say routinely that it's held together with baling wire and duct tape.
Lexington Mayor Jim Gray says it's been headache after headache this winter.
In the last month and a half, we've had sanitary sewer pipe break. We've had this pipes break on us after the thawing and the ice, and now we've had this condition. This has all happened within a month, and upwards of several $100,000 of remedial work.
That's a lot of work on a building that he says was never meant to house city government.
When the government actually went into this building 40 years ago, it was designed to be a temporary location, and almost 50 years later, we're still in it. It was never designed to be an office building, so it's never really been appropriate as an office building.
The building was originally the Lafayette Hotel. The mayor said that means it could easily be transformed into housing if and when the city decides to move their offices to a new location, but that could be a long way off.
Foreseeable future, we would need to stay in this building, but this building has the potential to be transitioned back into perhaps apartments and the government go into another facility.
So again, the mayor says the electricity is back up and running here at the Government Center. For the rest of the day, workers will test the systems to make sure they're safe. They'll also have to warm the building back up after it sat in the cold. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Now, the mayor said that fire was caused by water from thawing pipes getting into the electrical distribution center. This is Election Day in 8 Kentucky counties. Governor Steve Beshear called for a special election in the 27th Senate District. Walter Blevins resigned from the seat earlier this year to become the Rowan County Judge Executive. Democrat W. Kelly Caudle of Maysville and Republican Stephen West of Paris are the 2 candidates on the ballot. The 27th Senate District includes Bourbon, Fleming, Harrison, Lewis, Mason, Nicholas, Robertson, and Rowan counties.
And the polls open until 6 o'clock in those locations.